Ian, you spoke on Twitter. I guess we could just touch on that like for half a second. They're rebranding it. They changed the name to X.
Yeah,
And so this is when I read the tweet, or I don't even know what we're going to call it after this, from the new CEO of Twitter. There was a key word in here that I was like, okay, I see what they're doing with this. They want to turn it into this center the Twitter around audio, video, messaging, payments, and banking. And so I'm thinking about like that. I'm like, wait, okay, the audio, understand, I got that part. The video, messaging, yeah, payments and banking. And so, is this his foray into that world? What?
yeah,
Yeah, through
yeah. He's
God.
been open. He wants to make this our version of WeChat, but there's a couple issues. Like, I don't think if he's trusted enough to be able to pull that off in the bank. And once again, you have some big competitors. So, like, yes, he was an advocate of Dogecoin, but is he a better alternative than Bitcoin itself? No. Ethereum itself? No. This is what like linear focus matters so much.
Mhm.
Maybe if when a whole crypto boom or the second version of it was popping off, if he was more active in that community and then things were being built at that time, there could be a segue. And not saying that it's impossible, but to say like you want 50% of the people in the world finding a way to do banking or business through you, it's going to be damn near impossible. Um, Now, in the grand scheme of things with Tesla, the charging networks, I get what the vision that he's trying to go, but I think he's biting off more than he can potentially chew. Like it's been hard enough for them to right a lot of wrongs with Twitter. It's
Mhm.
going to be hard to be a payment platform and banking and audio and video. And we go through these boom and bust cycles of where like a company will do everything, and then we'll have compression cycles where like a company will do something very like extremely well. I think he just needs to focus for the next 3 or 4 years of getting Tesla to be as efficient as possible, recovering that loss from Twitter, another media company that's fallen apart that they paid too much for, and then maybe in the future he can look at the banking sector. I mean, and
Yeah,
on top of that too, like if you're a bank and we're in higher inflation airy times, it's really hard to make that business work.
yeah. That was the and once you said crypto, it made me think of it because I'm thinking on top of it being a banking and payments, he says that he wants to create a global economy, and he looks at X as one of the centerpieces of creating a global economy for goods and services. And so now I'm thinking, is this a foray, or are they working on maybe his own crypto, and and that becomes a way that you have global payments. So I was just like, yeah,
The first thing
maybe
I thought when I saw that was like Mark Zuckerberg is really kicking your ass,
he's just trying to find something.
trying to find anything to stay afloat. And the active users, of course, on Threads is going down, but I think they got such a lead that you're trying to find any way to pivot out of that loss. He feels like a fighter that's been backed into a corner and he can't find a way to get out. I think his best move would just be focus on Tesla, Hyperloop, Starlink. Like Twitter was a mistake. Twitter is like when you're in a relationship with a toxic person for too long, you keep trying to find a way to make it work. Like Twitter is like Blueface and Krishan. No matter what you do, or how much counseling Twitter goes through, they'll never be the ideal couple, and neither will Blueface and Krishan. Shout out to them. Like you have to learn when to just take your losses and be like, I messed up. I paid too much for a dying media company.
Let's talk about all right, Federal Reserve, Fed now,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, which allows officially launched Fed now, which allows you to send payments in seconds.
Mhm.
Um,
Hmm.
is this the launch? Is this launch a win for consumers or
Yeah.
a loss?
So I'll just add a little more context behind it, Ian, before you go. So you can receive funds in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, through the central bank. So they're saying that they've already partnered with 41 banks, 15 service providers, including, surprise, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of New York Mellon, and US Bank Corp. So those are some of their partners already. What's your thoughts?
I want no issues with the Federal Reserve. See you guys at InvestFest.
All right, that's fair.
Get your
That's fair.
tickets. Get your tickets.
So here's the follow up for that, right? If FedNow is effective and we can
Mhm.
get payments in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, what does that do for the existing payment processing companies, PayPal, Venmo, Block?
I don't want any issues with the Federal Reserve. See you guys at InvestFest. I think the other payment providers are in trouble. That's why I keep saying the biggest players on earth are going to find a way to get into your bit. Like who? Okay, imagine if I bought you a business plan and a year later I'm like, we got an issue. Like, what's the issue? The Federal Reserve is our competition.
Good luck.
Jesus Christ! What do? Nothing. Nothing. That's a pressure that you don't want. So, always going back to that margins thing and seeing what competitive advantages are. It's tough. That's why, like Elon, of course, being in PayPal, he had this X.com idea back in '99. They didn't approve it. So this has been like a project he's wanted to do forever. I think it's the wrong business to be in. Anytime you're a competitor with the banks, it's not a business I want to be in. That game is not fair. It's not fair. You think the war in Chirac was something? We get into these banking wars and Federal Reserve wars. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. They're gonna take a lead.
We'll see.